In seconds.
Now we are
Okay.
streaming.
Yes.
Okay. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Rania Jabber. I am the co-chair for NileTESOL Conference 2022. Dear Provost Abdulrahman, Dean Ketterer, Dean Elshimi, Mr. Amara, our esteemed sponsors, presenters, and attendees, welcome. As we have succeeded in returning to face-to-face teaching, two things are needed: communication and acknowledgement of the need for change. Hence is the title of this year's NileTESOL Conference, New Norms in Teaching and Learning. The American University in Cairo is hosting the 26th NileTESOL Conference 2022. And we are pleased to announce that it's taking place virtually on January 28th and 29th. In this mega event, we are bringing together presenters from 20 countries, representing 5 continents. With almost 2 years into the global pandemic, the world has become a different place. Education and assessment are no exception. The new reality has come with many changes. Those changes are challenges to teaching and learning, but these have been transformed into great opportunities. And today and tomorrow, we are here to celebrate these teaching and learning success stories. ELT practitioners and specialists are meeting to discuss and share their expertise in order to promote and maintain quality learning and teaching. The goal is also to bridge the gap between theory and practice and support teachers with a view to enabling students to obtain quality learning. We have a huge lineup for our attendees, so I am asking all to please attend, network, and share. But most of all, enjoy. Now, over to Laila Sirti, co-chair of the conference.
Thank you, Rania. Dear respected dignitaries, our esteemed sponsors, distinguished presenters and guests, we take great pride in welcoming you to the 26th NileTESOL 2022 Annual International Conference, which is taking place virtually for the second year. The past 2 years have been a challenging period for us all. However, we at the American University in Cairo believe that many innovative ideas have been generated due to the grit and resilience of the educators who've continued to physically or virtually walk into the classrooms with a smile on the face, believing that teaching and learning must go on. It's worth mentioning that teaching challenges during the pandemic have generated many innovative pedagogical best practices in the teaching field. In the 26th NileTESOL virtual conference, we proudly host a wide array of presentations, demo sessions, poster presentations, and panel discussions. We would like to thank the esteemed plenary speakers of the conference. We are also very grateful to RELO and the British Council, the NileTESOL partners. Special thanks go to the international publishers, namely the International Language Bookshop, Sphinx, York Press, Pearson, MM Publications, Cairo Center, and CDOA, who add great value to our lineup of sessions. I would like to thank the diligent organizing committee and moderators who have been attending to each and every detail, and all who have contributed to the success of the NileTESOL conference. And last but not least, I would like to show my gratitude by thanking the American University in Cairo and the School of Continuing Education, who have always been the cornerstone for this conference. Without their financial, logistical, and informational support, we wouldn't have been able to organize the second virtual NileTESOL conference. Thank you all, and wish you an enjoyable and fruitful 2-day conference experience. Now I'm leaving the floor back to my conference co-chair, Rania Jabber.
Thank you, Laila. It gives me great pleasure to welcome the Provost of the American University in Cairo, Dr. Ihab Abdulrahman, who will give his opening speech.
Thank you, Rania. Thank you, Layla. Dear NileTESOL President, Dean of the Academy of Liberal Arts, Dean of the School of Continuing Education, distinguished guests, colleagues, sponsors, committee members, participants, and attendees. It gives me great pleasure to welcome you here today to the 26th NileTESOL conference hosted by EUC. I would like to give special thanks to the conference organizing committee for putting together this engaging conference with a wide variety of sessions to meet the expectations of educators with diverse needs and expectations. We are very fortunate to have the support of an excellent cadre of professors, sponsors, and publishers from whom you will definitely learn a great deal. The conference is a signature event for EUC. Attendees and presenters are of different experiences and academic backgrounds. Such diversity adds to the rich experience of attending NileTESOL. What makes this conference special is that participants are actively involved in the development of teaching of English and preparation of teaching content in English in Egypt and globally. It is the hub where all teachers share experiences and challenges and start networking with ELT professionals. Today, EUC is in its second century of an impressive history of support for professional development and quality of education. In our mission to develop lifelong learning skills and to be the center of creating knowledge that advances students' learning experience, we host many conferences related to education that draw academics and professionals from all disciplines to share and exchange the latest research and developments in their fields. At EUC, we support and encourage those who pursue new ideas, research endeavors, and creative thinking, and are eager to share their knowledge and expertise in such enriching forums. Amid the constantly changing tides in education and the current challenges, it is essential to remember that focusing on individual student needs is timeless. Designing a climate that allows diverse learners to achieve growth and develop motivation for lifelong learning is our constant mission. At EUC, we seek to recruit the best qualified Egyptian and international students. To achieve this goal, we offer hundreds of scholarships supported by EUC, individuals, and cooperations. These funds from prestigious donors continue to allow EUC to recruit and educate outstanding students coming from different cities, countries, and educational backgrounds. With many educational edges that we offer at EUC, I'd like to encourage you all to speak to your talented and highly qualified students and encourage them to apply to EUC. And please allow me to share with you our scholarship web page. Share your screen. So this is where you can actually find a link to our admission website and our scholarship website. Please share that with your students and encourage your talented students to apply to UC. At UC, we believe that every student should worry about admission, but not tuition. So that's why we offer lots of financial support to our students in order to actually make sure that they succeed in their life. With those final words, I wish you and the organizing committee and all participants all success in NileTESOL. Thank you.
Thank you, Provost Abdulrahman. Now I'm very pleased to welcome Dean James Ketterer, the Dean of the School of Continuing Education, to give his remark. Dean Ketterer, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. Thank you to all. And I want to start by saying that, of course, it's wonderful to quote unquote see everyone, though I miss seeing everyone in person. And I know we're here to also at the conference to elaborate new norms and new vistas and possibilities, but I, for one, also miss the interaction, and I hope that next year we will finally be able to gather back in person. My very first year as dean, I came to NileTESOL and just was so impressed by the people that I met and really struck by the energy that was not only in the big hall when we started it, but the energy in each room and in interactions. And so I know that will be replicated here, but I do also look forward to seeing you in person and on our beautiful campus. The School of Continuing Education is very proud to be able to have had this role in being part of this conference for a long time. The provost mentioned that the university is in its second century now. And for a good part, most of that time that the university has existed, there has also been, in one form or another, under one name or another, the School of Continuing Education. And though the name has changed over time, the function has remained the same, of reaching out to the broad swath of Egyptian society and offering high quality, flexible, affordable, accessible education that can be applied in any number of ways to one's learning across one's life. The provost mentioned our mission of lifelong learning. And that is something that we take very, very seriously. And the people here at this conference today, I know I don't have to convince of that because you're here. You take time out of your days, out of your weekend, out of your lives, not only to be at this conference, but to engage in this kind of activity all the time. And I also want to say that the teaching of English at the American University in Cairo, but also especially at the School of Continuing Education, is something that obviously we take very, very seriously. As Leila said, in the last 2 years, we've been thinking long and hard about how to address the realities that face us. But it's also, if there is any silver lining in this terrible situation that we're going through, it's that it's caused us also to rethink how we can reach new audiences, new people who can't make it to Cairo, how we can reach people beyond the Cairo, but also beyond the borders of Egypt, and do so in a way that's still the highest quality and the best experience. And I know everyone in this conference is thinking the same things and going to be speaking about it more and more at this conference. Along the lines of lifelong learning, I just want to also say that the School of Continuing Education offers a wide variety of programs in teacher training. Some of the people involved and even in this opening session are working with the school on some of our other teacher training initiatives, but we also offer many, many other things, so many areas of professional development, areas for career development, certificate programs, diploma programs. We're developing new lifelong learning and enrichment programs. There's so much that is to be offered. And so I urge all of you to consider coming back to us, finding other ways to be part of our community, considering, if you haven't already, teaching for us, considering taking more classes for us, all of that. We really want to find engagement on many, many different levels. And I want to take advantage of this moment to have such a fantastic audience here to really urge you on my behalf, on the school's behalf, and I know on behalf of the university, to continue to make it a reality for us that AUC is a private university in the public interest. We mean that, and we live that every day. I just want to say one thing too about conferences. And Rania had said at the end of her opening remarks that she hopes everyone networks and gets out there and has fun. I think, fun is a really underrated thing. People should be having fun while at the same time learning. Obviously, this is a great opportunity to network, even in this virtual space. It is an opportunity to advance your knowledge. It's also an opportunity, and I think this is important for first-time conference goers or anyone who is coming back for their many, many other times at NileTESOL, and that is to get out of your comfort zone a little bit, take in sessions and have conversations that are beyond what you normally do. This is a great opportunity to not only meet new people, but to face new ideas head on. And I think the theme of this conference really emphasizes that. in the end, you're taking time out of your day, you're investing in yourself, but, make new contacts and friends and continue them beyond this conference. It takes effort, but it's well worth it. None of us succeeds together alone, and we really have to do it together. So I urge you to remain in contact with the people that you meet here. Finally, I also want to offer my thanks to our great partners and colleagues at the Regional English Language Office of the U.S. Embassy, Cairo. We work with them on many things. Their mission is important. We think our mission is important, and they intersect and overlap a lot, and we really enjoy working with them. Certainly the same is true for our other partners, the British Council, and then sponsors, the International Language Bookshop, Sphinx, M&M Publications, Seeds. I hope I'm not forgetting anybody, but I want to thank all of the sponsors because you really do make this happen. I also want to deeply thank the co-chairs and the committee. Conferences, especially big, successful conferences like this, do not happen on their own. If you're coming to a conference for the first time and you think, wow, this is really interesting, well, a lot of work has gone into it. I mean, really a whole year's work and a whole legacy that goes into it. I want to thank the Provost for his continuous and very strong support of NileTESOL and of the School of Continuing Education for all this time. Dean Hashimi, she and I work together on many different projects, and I thoroughly enjoy it, and I think there's many, many more to come. Also VP Dina Borai, who is here and is going to give the opening speech to the group, and on whose shoulders I stand at SCE, and who has worked with this group, and she needs no introduction, but she deserves a lot of thanks. So I want to thank her. Also, I want to thank the SCE staff and others at AUC who work to make this happen and have worked very, very hard. And I want to give a special thanks to my colleague Hanan Faris, who works very, very hard as well. So a special thanks go to Rania and Leila, and I am really thrilled that we're having yet another NileTESOL conference, and I'm involved in it. And I look forward to the next steps as the conference goes forward. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dean Ketterer. And now I'm very pleased to introduce Dean Raed Alshimi, the Dean of the Academy of Liberal Arts. Dean Alshimi, please, the floor is yours. You're muted, Dean Shimi.
Thank you, Leila. Dear colleagues, it gives me great pleasure to welcome you today to the second virtual NileTESOL conference, which I've been very happy to be a part of for many, many years since its inception. I wish to thank Provost Abdurrahman, Dean Ketterer, and the School of Continuing Education for their support of this very special annual event, and also my Academy of Liberal Arts colleagues on the conference organizing committee, co-chairs Rania, Leila, and their team, the sponsors, the publishers, presenters, and language teachers who make possible such valuable coming of minds to discuss issues that concern all of us. The theme today is a very interesting one, new norms in teaching. This invites us to reflect on the educational impacts of the pandemic and the immeasurable challenge to education that it has ushered in, and also provides us with some very unique opportunities for strengthening learning. As we continue to watch the pandemic unfold, we realize that last year's measures to maintain education are not temporary. Many of them are here to stay. We were previously coming up with ways to manage a passing disruption to our classrooms, but today we have to think of sustainable ways to deliver quality education under these circumstances and to continue to meet our needs of excellence and engagement and support. As an educator, I think the biggest challenge that has presented itself is the need for social distancing. Having to put distance in the formula for teaching has shown us that much of what we did before and our teaching effectiveness largely depended on being physically in the same place as our learners. This togetherness is what we once took for granted. Thus, our capacities for adaptation, transformation, and innovation are being tested. We have to rethink our entire teaching approach and ask ourselves difficult questions to understand this new context. What new roles and responsibilities do educators have toward their students? What new challenges should we anticipate? Beyond providing technology and training for remote learning, what are we doing to empower teachers to succeed? How are we supporting our most vulnerable students? These questions invite us to reflect very deeply on our priorities and the impacts of the pandemic on everything that we do, including effective pedagogy, assessment, communication, academic integrity, equity, well-being, safety, privacy, time management, mental health for both learners and teachers. If we're going to restore a sense of normal to lives that have been disrupted beyond what we have ever known, we have to look with fresh eyes at all educational exchanges. In this rare moment where everything that is familiar becomes unfamiliar, questioning our teaching habits might lead to some valuable transformation and important rebuilding in our understanding of what education is. In developmental psychology, identity construction and identity growth occur when we are confronted with situations where our tried and trusted formulas no longer work. So we have to struggle to find new ways to understand and address the new context and emerge stronger and more experienced and more adaptable to change. The pandemic has presented educators with this challenge to grow. At AUC, our liberal arts mission asks us to place the student at the center of the learning process and to steer away from a one-size-fits-all curriculum. Our role as educators every day, but especially now in this new world, is to be constantly attuned to the needs of every individual student. We must create virtual environments that restore the connection and the sense of community that are so important to learning. As we gain agility and resilience in reinventing our teaching, we have to continue to find ways to communicate to our students that they matter and that our educational interactions, while remote, are no less committed to support their success and provide them with quality learning and development of skills for self-efficacy and preparedness for life. The sessions today and tomorrow provide a rich forum for reflection on research and practice on these complex and important learning and teaching interactions. This conference is a testimony to the resilience and adaptability of language professionals. While we discuss diverse topics of pedagogy, assessment, and digitization, we continue to target our timeless goals as educators, to inspire students and help them become active agents in their learning, and to empower them to learn to serve their professional and personal fulfillment. Thank you for your extraordinary commitment and resolve in ensuring that our students and institutions emerge better and stronger. And best wishes for an enjoyable conference. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dean Elshimi. And now I would like to introduce Mr. Samir Omaro, the president of the NileTESOL. Mr. Samir, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much. Dear all, hello and welcome to the NileTESOL 2022 online conference. We conducted this conference for the second time as a virtual conference, but the theme is different. The theme is related to what we experience now. The theme of new norms in teaching and learning reflects that the teachers and the language learners are moving and will continue to move to some new realities. These realities will include some challenges and some challenges. NileTESOL as a teacher association have been able to act upon these realities. For example, in 2021, we have developed lots and lots of online opportunities for language teachers and experiences. The NileTESOL special interest groups led by Mrs. Maha Hosni have delivered more than 40 webinars by 71 speakers for more than 1,100 attendees. The 6 committee chair, coordinators, steering committee members, and speakers have planned and delivered lots of webinars on language teaching, language learning, technology, assessment, and research. As for collaboration with other teacher associations, the NileTESOL International Relations Committee, led by Mr. Saeed Hassan, has communicated with different body associations in the Middle East and across the globe. We have signed and acted upon some memoranda of understanding with TESOL Libya, TESOL Kuwait, Mexico TESOL, TESOL Spain, Argentina TESOL, and other different teacher associations. For the international cooperation, we have distributed 7 free TESOL international memberships and 14 discounted memberships of IATEFL. And we continue to work with other teacher associations to develop our collaboration and to go beyond teacher development. So it's not related only to offering opportunities for teacher development, but to develop the collaboration with other teacher associations in Egypt and all over the world. The NileTESOL Communications Committee have helped to communicate with NileTESOL members who are now more than 5,500 members. The Communications Committee, led by Mrs. Ghada Al-Sakit, has always updated the NileTESOL website, which is niletesol.org, and the NileTESOL Facebook page, which has more than 33,000 followers so far. The conference, the NileTESOL 2021 conference proceedings team, led by Mrs. Rania Jabr and Dr. Mariam Osman, have developed the conference proceedings and published it. And the newsletter team, led by the chief editor, Dr. Susan Isnawi, are developing the newsletter of 2021, which compiles some of the reports and articles about language teaching during and post the coronavirus pandemic. So we are developing and we are doing lots and lots of things in order to help and support language teachers and language instructors in Egypt and outside. We have distributed 32 fundamentals of English language teaching scholarships for Egyptian teachers from all across the country, and we have distributed 12 filled for young learners scholarships for Egyptian teachers. These are the scholarships which are funded by the Regional English Language Office at the U.S. Embassy in Cairo and conducted or delivered by the School of Continuing Education at the American University in Cairo. I would like to thank Mrs. Yasmin Naamani and Mr. Ahmed Said for their support on organizing and distributing these scholarships. We also continue to update the database of NileTESOL members. So far, we have more than 5,500 members from Egypt and from different countries across the world. We continue to update this free membership for all who would like to join this ELT community. And we offer free opportunities for language teachers and instructors. We can, despite the challenges of not having a General Assembly in person, to board of directors, we continue to help our members and our representatives
I have a feeling we lost Mr. Samir. Mr. Samir, can you hear us? Okay. Unfortunately, it seems we have lost Mr. Samir. Okay. It's okay. I think I'm going to move. Thank you, Mr. Samir, and my apologies for any inconvenience. I'm just going to take a couple of more minutes to give a few notes to attendees and make a reminder, and then we'll have a little break, and then we will start our plenary. Please note that at 2 p.m. sharp, Cairo time, we will begin our first plenary session given by our fantastic and wonderful Dr. Dina Borai, who was basically one of the founding members of this conference and who has always given her support to us. We are here in the same room, the Lotus Room. Mr. Samir, are you back?
Yes, I'm back.
Okay, go ahead, please.
I'm sorry for this internet connection problem.
Go ahead.
Yes.
Go ahead.
So we continue to encourage our representatives and members to attend different face-to-face and online events in Egypt and outside. We continue to do this, and the biggest event which we would like our representatives and members to attend is, of course, the NileTESOL annual conference. This year, I would like to thank the organizing committee members led by Mrs. Rania Jabr and Mrs. Laila El-Serti for their great efforts to make this conference happen. I would like to thank NileTESOL key partner, the Regional English Language Office at the US Embassy in Cairo, British Council Egypt, and Amidist Egypt. I would like to extend loads of thanks to the American University in Cairo, the School of Continuing Education, to Mrs. Hanan Faris, who always helps us to make NileTESOL move forward. I would like to thank all the past presidents of NileTESOL, all the board of directors, members of the SIGS committee, members and teams. I would like to thank all our national and international sponsors, publishers, speakers, and attendees. You show a great interest in developing and sharing knowledge. To conclude, I would like to thank all those who voted for me to join the board of directors since 2018. I wish I could do my best to lead this teacher association in 2021. And I'm sorry if anything went in a way that might not appeal to some of those who voted for me. I'm sorry for that. I wish all the best to my successor, Mrs. Sana Makhlouf, and all her team. It's a pleasure to continue to serve NileTESOL Teacher Association as past president in 2022, and I will be there for help and support. Thank you so much for making this conference happen virtually, and please enjoy the conference and take your experiences back to your students and to your colleagues. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Samir. Thank you very much. So a couple of minutes of notes to everybody, attendees, and a reminder. Please note that at 2 sharp, Cairo time, we'll begin our first plenary given by Dr. Dina Borai here in the same room. This room is called Lotus. So please stay in the same room. And also please use the conference at a glance schedule to select the sessions you would like to attend. We're following the schedule and religiously, especially with the timings. We have 4 concurrent session rooms that are going to happen after the plenary: Orchid, Daffodil, Jasmine, and Tulip. And all plenary sessions will be held in this Lotus room. Try to join in a bit early in the room for the session you would like to attend to reserve your slot. During the session, as an attendee, you have no access to audio or video. So please ask any questions you may have at the end of any session by typing them directly into the chat box. You will be asked in the chat by the room moderator to fill in 2 links: a membership form, and this is a form that you need to only fill once, and a conference reflection or survey form about the sessions you have attended. Please fill in this conference reflection form as many times as you want. We value your input, we value your comments so that we can give you a better and even more rewarding experience in the coming years. This concludes the opening ceremony. And please remember, at 2 p.m., we will begin our first plenary session. Thank you very much and enjoy your experience.
Thank you.